Progress is about how I carry my responsibility, what I do to my country, how I protect my country, my dharma, my vesha, bhusha, bhasha, bindi to Vedanta. This is mine, this is my property. Brahmacharya was very important. I really endorse that idea. Today, most of our campuses are matchmaking centers or fashion parade centers. So, such barbarian people, looters, rapists, such demonic people, they had no respect. For them, woman is a commodity. For us, woman is Shakti. There are so many women, at least in Karnataka, you want to listen to them. Those who know Kannada can see these video series are made in Samvada. That is why in the Vivaha, they put the second Upavita to the husband. It actually means that you will take over her Vaidika karma.
I have a couple of questions to you. So, who can be a better person than her to answer something regarding literature? So, can you please tell us what was the role of women in ancient times and their contribution to Indic literature?
It's a great question, and we all have been kept kind of misinformed or ill-informed or not informed of what exactly has been the role of women in literature. The concept of Sahitya, literature, is as old as Bharatavarsha. Perhaps if you trace back who was the oldest queen, not the nail polish queen who sleeps on a coach waiting for some Rajkumara to fascinate or infatuate somebody, not the European model, Cleopatra model. I'm talking about the queens who never had time for nail polish, were busy protecting their citizens, who were not just fair and lovely beauties. Theirs was an inside-out manifestation of motherhood, matratva, netratva, kartatva, shakti, tyaga, name it, all these great virtues. So if you trace back in history, I mean honestly, not with the Romila Thakur kind of literature, which they call it literature, it is crap. I am very open about that. It's totally baseless, without facts. If you go honestly, the oldest queen you get here in Bharat, you get it in the Sanatana civilization. You go back to the Vedic times, there are so many Rishikas. I made a small collection of some Rishika names. It's not less than 30, 35. And Rishika means the female version of a Rishi. Rishi Kranta Darshanat. One who can look beyond, reach beyond, think beyond. One who is insightful is called a Rishi. And there's one great Rishi called Vagamridi. Her name is Vak. She is the daughter of Amrina Maharshi. And there's this very popular Devi Sutta. She says, I'm everything, I'm the universe. She's a realized soul.
One sutta in the first person.
Yes.
All the suttas are in the second person.
Yes. So it's such a wonderful sutta. I have no time to go into the details. So these are the examples we see. Not just start with small poems, but we start with the greatest of rishis. It's a big bang start. It's so profound. Even the oldest women literature you see is so profound. Nothing childish. It's not only spiritual, it is also, there are didactic conversations like you have Lopamudra, Agastya, Samvada. Lopamudra questions her husband saying, you are being a tapasvi, tapasvi, tapasvi all the time. So am I. So why did you marry me at all? We have married, we have promised in front of the Agni that we'll have children. Prajadantuma vevachesi. So what about the promise? I'm getting old. So Agastya has a big problem. He says, okay, fine, I understand. She says, you're so ugly, you go dress up fine, go. He goes to a king and he has to borrow some costumes, make himself appear better. You see, even such discussions we see in the Veda. So such literature we see from the women's side. We have Shashwati, we have Gargi Maitreyi, who you all know very well. Gargi is one of the 8 scholars who questions, who debates, not questions, I think the word question is badly misused and misinterpreted. It's rather debate. Debate is where you are open, we agree to disagree, but you are open to know what is right. We are brainstorming newer and newer ideas to get to the truth. That is what debate is about. It is not argument. It's not taking sides and being assertive about that. I should change myself if I understand that I am being wrong. So this is debate. So Gargi is one of the 8 great scholars who debates against none other than the greatest, the tallest of scholars of those times, that is Yajnavalkya Maharshi. So he has to prove to her that he is a Brahmarshi. in a sabha. So, and then you have Maitreyi, who became his wedded wife also. And she became his wife because she was actually a student. And they didn't want this campus love to happen in those days. So they had a very pure atmosphere. Brahmacharya was very important. I really endorse that idea. Today, most of our campuses are matchmaking centers or fashion parade centers. And very, of course, thoda sa education bhi ho jaye. So this was not how it was. It was about Brahmacharya. Saha Viryam Karavavahi. Viryam also refers to protecting the vital energies, practicing Brahmacharya. 12 years of Brahmacharya was compulsory for every girl, every boy in their student days. After that, you get married, you will have better romance, you will have better grihastha. Now you have wasted everything, all second hand, third hand. So what remains? I am speaking some different truths, understand that. There is no beautiful curiosity left in any samantha. You wasted your mind. So that would not happen. So there was a rule that if you have to marry, if you have to be a student, a female student for a male guru, the age span must be at least 8 to 10 years. Okay, so that was how they ensured that this lecturer-student marriages don't happen. Something like that. Of course, they used to still happen, like today. So this Maitreyi became his moksha patni. The concept of dharma patni, artha patni, kama patni, moksha patni is so beautiful. So dharma patni is like you have so many ideas. She should be of my profession, my dharma, my thinking. So it's about maintaining the kula dharma. It's very important, particularly for the king, minister, etc. And artha patni is okay. I get all this property free, political alliances. Kama patni is just girlfriend, fall in love. And then moksha patni is very interesting. You see one recent example of moksha patni in Ramakrishna Sharada Mata's life. They are both dharma patni and moksha patni ideas there. So Maitreyi, who was a great scholar, great student, she became his moksha patni. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, you see a beautiful dialogue between Gargi, Yagnavalkya and Maitreyi. It's really wonderful. He has two wives. Katyayani is a pakka grihini. She's happy, passionate, she's happy about her grihastha dharma. It's not that if you are at home taking care of your family or anything low. Today's Macaulay education, I call it Macaulay education. It is not English, it is not Indian education. It has been imposed upon us to enslave us, to make us feel bad about ourselves, inferior about ourselves, and destination west. This dream has been imposed upon us. Come out of the colonial hangover, think clear. So nothing is wrong, nothing is bad, nothing is trivial. A lotus is beautiful. It becomes best as a better lotus in the pond. And jasmine is beautiful. It has to be on the tree. There's no copying here. This copy-paste model is very wrong. So there we see Maitreyi is a dynamic Brahmavadini who is a very great intellect. And here Katyayani who is an innocent, beautiful, passionate housewife, homemaker. Both are great. And both of them choose what they want. So Katyayani doesn't say, what are you giving to Maitreyi? No. She is very clear, very, very skopagnya, very original about her choice with her husband. And Maitreyi doesn't say, you didn't give me that. She says, no, you are living this samsara to get something else, right? So that must be higher. Give me that. She chooses spirituality, no copy there, it's just very original. So you see this original spirit. There are so many such rishikas that can go on naming. You have Roma Shashwati, Lopamudra, then Surya, one woman called Surya, Soma. In fact, all the Vivaha mantras today, some Purohitas say, women should not say mantras, The most interesting thing is that the Vivaha mantras were designed by 2 women. It is a dialogue between 2 women. Okay, and see how beautiful, when I got married, I had some time, one year or so. So I did a small study of the Vivaha mantras. And when the bride is welcomed, the in-laws, particularly the Sas, Bahu, Sas, Sasur, together, they welcome her and say, you be the mother of 10 children and treat your husband as an 11th child. You see, it's an evolution. from just romance, we evolved to motherhood. Motherhood is not about just biological motherhood. It is about a realization. We have that in our DNA. We should be proud of that. Instead of that, feminism comes in and says, no, 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 you become like the man, dress like him, talk like him, behave. This is inferiority complex. Being what we are is realization. Trying to become somebody else is stupidity. So you see, those kinds of mantras are there. And in-laws have to say, Samvada Bhava. You become the empress of your family. Rule us. The mother-in-law has to tell that. Rule us. See this mother-in-law syndrome was mother-in-law syndrome there. So they had a lot of freedom. In fact, Draupadi, Kunti in Mahabharata says, Draupadya Pathi Charatam. You all follow the advice of Draupadi, she tells her sons, Kunti tells Pandavas. Okay, coming to the point, I think I'm deviating. So many such Rushikas you see. In Ramayanam, we see how Sita herself was a Vedavit. She was very learned. She was a Rani. She told beautifully. The last ending was fantastic, in fact. She was speaking my heart. So Sita very clearly, without saying anything, told the people that you don't deserve me. Half mere life nahi hai. Okay, Sita was a Vidushi. She was a Rani. And you know what? There's a line in Ramayana where when Kaikeyi gives this bark garments to Sita, she doesn't know how to wear it. She's never seen bark garments. She wears it around and she says, Rama, I don't know how to wear this. So everybody has tears in their eyes. Then Vasishtha is also moved. He says, why should Sita wear this? She will rule in the place of Rama. This is what Vasishtha says. I am quoting from Valmiki Ramayana. So this Pattabhishekam is not only for the king, it is a dual thing. Both of them have to sit on the throne. And if the king goes on expeditions, wars, it will be months and years. All the ruling, governance, everything is taken care of the Pattamahishi. She is a signatory. She has a Rajamudrika. So all these you see in the Bhagavatam, Ramayana. You can have a conference just on this topic. Even conference is not enough. There's so much of data available. And their history textbooks, they say, till the Britishers came and women did not know anything. Nonsense. Don't see just your grandmothers. They were the victims of colonization. Go to your great-grandmothers. Go to your grandmothers. They were the women, Kannadದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಕಚ್ಚೆ ಕಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕತ್ತಿ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬೀದಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಯುದ್ಧ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Today our girls shriek on seeing a cockroach or a rat, jump on the sofa. But we had women who would swim, who would ride horses, they were tribal women, they were village women, they were very strong. The examples of Tulsi Gowda and Salumarada Timaka, thankfully, thank God they are not infected by Macaulay education. That is why they could do wonders. That's true. What are we doing today? We are ruining Mother Earth with plastics, wasting water. A bunch of English words and foreign tools and Western dresses is not progress. Progress is about how I carry my responsibility, what I do to my country, how I protect my country, my dharma, my vesha, bhusha, bhasha, bindi to Vedanta. This is mine, this is my property. This is what is awakening, this is what is education. Are we giving that to our children? So our women had that. They were the protectors of, they were the real cultural educators. Real cultural education happened with women. With due respect to all the men folk here, always women have had a bigger role in the cultural empowerment. Now we see a lot of westernization in our girls. But till our previous generation, till my mother's time, or maybe till our time, we are more culturally, we are more Indian in our dress, in our taste, our behavior. Even our girls who go and settle in America will be doing Gauri Puja, Lantis, etc. They'll go to Chimya Mission, have some bhajans. This is the inner urge. This is what has kept our culture intact. Now coming to literature, you take, there are so many such literatures you see, in the middle ages also. I have a big list in fact, if I had brought it I could have read it out. So many women who were poetesses, who were queens, who have written Shastra Granthas and Kavi Granthas. Shastra Granthas go on facts, like they are sciences, they are science. Today we have we have kind of classified them as sciences, arts, etc. Everything, any knowledge system which is methodically documented, it could be music, it could be cooking, it could be erotics, it could be farming, it could be mathematics, it could be astronomy. Anything which is well documented is called a Shastra. Shasanat, Shamsanat Shastram Ityahu. So that way so many Shastras are there, and all these Shastras have been brought down the tradition. Men and women both were given education, and then you come to the Kavya Sahitya, a lot of them are preserved even today. They have a lot of Kavya Sahitya and women names. In fact, it's not just that women were literate and poets and great performers in the field of literature. Some examples like Sheela Bhattarika, Vijjika of the Chalukyan Empire. She was the daughter-in-law of I think one of the Chalukya kings. She was so proud of her literary prowess. One poet, I think that somebody comes and he composes a poem extempore on Saraswati Mata. He says, Sarva Shukla Saraswati, the all-white Saraswati. So she laughs and says, come on, I think this person has not seen the color of my skin. I'm so dark in color. And he calls Saraswati as white. You got the dhvani? Such a shoe.
I'm Saraswati.
She says, I am Saraswati indirectly. So she's called Shyamala Saraswati.
Wow.
Wow. This is a Satvika Abhimana. So this is the kind of examples you see. We have Ganga Devi who wrote Madhura Vijaya. She was the queen of Vijayanagara Samrajya. She writes about Madhura Vijaya, how Madhura Pattanam, which was captured by Alauddin Khilji's people, they were massacred, thrown out, and the whole city, the whole Tamil Nadu was again brought back to Sanatana food. All that she explains. And there was one more queen called Tirumalama. She writes a Varadambika Parinaye Champu on her own Sabati in Timala, stepwise. See her generosity. Varadambika Parinaya Champu. It's a lovely text. I have drawn a lot for my doctoral thesis from that. She describes horse riding. She describes big race course events. She describes war. And it's beautiful. Puppetry, dance, music. She goes from battle to everything. A range of topics she covers in that. More interesting is there was one more woman called Oduva Tirumalamba. In Kannada, it's called Oduva, means one who reads. Oduva Vadu, jo padta hai. Oduva Tirumalamba. We see about her in the documents that she knew so many scripts, so many languages, and any official letter, document, correspondence, anything that would come to the king were sent to her. She was highly posted. She had a very high post, and she could just pick up and read any script, any language, and explain that. And she had a great talent of picking up any text of any language and reading it so beautifully in the evenings. People would gather and listen to her in rapt attention. She was called Oduva Tirumalamba. Should we not teach this in our textbooks to our girls? Their backbones will become upright. They'll become proud of what they are. They will stop aping somebody in the West who will tear their trousers here, where shall I tear, how shall I? This is not what we should be doing. We should be discovering ourselves, our own heritage, our own roots, our own DNA. And then here in somewhere near Bengaluru, near Kolara, recently I saw this in Jyotsna Kamanji's potpourri site. I was so excited. There's an inscription about one woman, a young Samskrita scholar. Samskrita is my field. I was inspired. Her name is Savi Nirmidi. There's a small shasana, which there's also a sculpture of her. She's holding a book like this, a young woman, and she has composed a kavya, Samskrita kavya called Sri Harishantra. Savi Nirmidi. There's so much of praise about her. Her parents, her guru, everybody says she's one of the finest scholars, the greatest woman our village has produced. These are the examples we have to tell our children. We are telling them, your grandma knows nothing, your great grandmother knew nothing, nobody knows anything, your mother knows nothing, so go to America. This is not what we should be teaching. We should be teaching our children about all these literary prowess. There was one Vikata Nitamba. She was so scholarly that in front of her husband just dulled out. He was totally a Dalit who knew nothing. Somehow, unfortunately, I don't know how she accepted him. Maybe she still loved him. There are such examples. I'll give you one small example from our Samskrita Subhashitas, how we teach our grammar, etc. They are very cute subhashitas to keep in memory. Somebody who knows Sanskritam will understand it very well. One Vidushi was a great scholar who could not find a match for herself because nobody matched her in scholarship. She wanted to get a husband who can at least match her, if not defeat her. So she kept on putting tests after tests to people who come to see her. So one man was desperately interested in marrying her. So he knew that the only way to marry her is to learn Sanskritam. So he came to Sanskrit Bharati Arathi Bhagini and said, some crash course in Sanskritam, please. So usually we tell, Arathi Bhagini will say, okay, you learn Ramapadam, Rama, 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 Rama. So you learn that Vibhakti 21 forms, you know 50% of Sanskrit. We just, it's marketing, to tell them it's easy. So he learned Rama Shabda perfectly, you match everything with that and say. So he went to her very happily. He was perfect with Ramapadam. So she gave him some tests. Tell me, what is the Vibhakti Lakshanas, the other Lakshanas of Vihaya? He said, oh, Vihaya. He knows only Ramapadam. Rama, 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 Ramaya, Chaturthi Vibhakti Ekavachanam. She understood what he is. One card nodre akki card yogi ante gottagattalla ninditi agga. So then she said, okay, then what is Vihasya? Vihasya. Rama, 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 Ramasya, Shashti Vibhakti Ekavachanam. Okay, what is Aham Padam? Bantava. Rama, Ramam, Vidya Vibhakti Ekavachanam. So she laughs aloud and she says, Yasya Shashti Chaturthi cha Vihasya cha Vihaya cha Yasyaham Vidiyasyat Vidiyasyam Aham Katham. She says, for this fool, for whom Vihasya and Vihaya is Shashti and Chaturthi. Actually, Vihasya and Vihaya are Avyayas. They have no Vibhakti Lingavachana. And Aham Padam is Pratama Vibhakti Ekavachana and Sarvanama Padam. So, but he saw Ramam, okay. So she says, Yasya Aham Vidiyasyat. For whom this is Dvitiya Vibhakti. Vidiyasyam Aham Kadam. How can I be a Dvitiya? How can I be his wife? So many examples are there. So it was not that women put a test, ye kanya theek hai ki nahi, no. It was the other way around. The Rajkumaris used to say, I'll give you this poem, I'll give you this Kavya Samasya, can you solve this? Then I'll marry you. Can you go and do this Matsya Yantra Vedana? Then I'll marry you. Show me your prowess in poetry or literature or on the field or whatever martial skills, then I'll marry you. So we have so many such examples. I am not talking from imagination. It's not fiction, I am talking from facts. So till date, till very recent times, today as I talk to you, we have one of the greatest Sanskrit scholars in Chhattisgarh, Bilaspur. Her name is Pujya Mata, great Vyakarana Vidushi, Pushpa Dikshit. You have to see her books, If you just see them, like, we will sweat. My God, when will I study all this in my lifetime? When there was no Google, nothing, no such technology, she has worked loads and loads of Vyakaranam. She's made Shastra texts. She's one of the tallest scholars. Even great scholars will stand like this in front of her. They're afraid to talk. She's such a learned woman. Today, she's running her Paniniya Pathashala all free. She was awarded Padma Shri. The next day, she invested all her money into that. Such Tyagamurtis we have. We have so many Vidushis in Bengaluru. I wrote an article about the Vidushis, Samskrita Vidushis of Bengaluru. I can share it with you. In Tamil Nadu we have. Wherever we go, there are so many people, not only Sanskritam, in Kannada we have, it's a big thing, so many are there. From the Vedic times, from Gargi's times, from Sita to Draupadi, there's one Sulabha Maitreyi in Mahabharatam, who wants to test the capacity of Janaka. Is he really a Brahmagyani? She enters his body, paralyzes him and has a charcha inside his body. He says, you are a woman, how can you enter? She says, oh, abhi bhi stri purush mein ho. So you are not a Brahmagyani. He says, no, I understand. So, such models we see in the Puranic times, in the medieval times, when the invasions happened also. Despite the invasions, despite the onslaughts, when women's security and honor was at stake, at home they continued their education. There are so many women, at least in Karnataka, you want to listen to them. Those who know Kannada can see these video series are made in Samvada about so many, at least 46 or 47 I could get some information. You go and listen to them. Each great Vidushi, each great performer, Rani of Karnataka, I want to make it into a pan-India thing also slowly. So many are there. So many are there. Every time I read, I feel, oh, I never studied this in my textbooks. It's high time we bring back all this. So women in literature, as Amiji very rightly said, it is not about reviving something in the woman. It's already there. Bhudi Kuchila Kenda. It's already there. We are not aware of that. It's like just below my building, in the foundation, there's so much of nidhi. But here I say I don't have any. I don't know I am the inheritor of such great treasure. So a lot of literary contributions have been done at all times, even during the colonial period, but a lot more before the colonial period. Like we have lost the literature of men, we have lost the literature of women also. Imagine the invaders come, plunder, destroy the libraries, burn them up, ruin everything. They're barbarians, they're animals, I should say. I'll be insulting animals if I say that. So such barbarian people, looters, rapists, such demonic people, they had no respect. For them, woman is a commodity. For us, woman is Shakti. Isn't it? See the difference in perspective. So here, it's not that women were always confined to the kitchens, but that is our first job. I personally, when I had my baby, not that anybody told me or my husband told me, I decided that I'll be a good mother to my child. I'll give him maximum time. I'll cut down so much of my public programs. I don't feel any bad at all about that. That is very important to me. Motherhood is a great thing. It is only a woman who can do that, right? Just like your daughter, my son, my husband is taking care of. He has exams day after tomorrow. Yes, but still that's my first priority. The moment I sit in my car, first thing I do is I call and ask, what is my son doing? Had he had his dinner? That I should be proud of that. We have to prioritize, right? Because of this, women have always preferred the betterment of the family first, then my Sahitya, then my Sangeeta, everything next. So this is the greatness of our women. I'm very proud when I say this. I tell it from the bottom of my heart. We have a great literary tradition. Bhasi Ramade Iti Bharatam. Bharata means a land that rejoices in light. Light means Jnana. And our Mata, Saraswati Mata herself comes in a female form. Veda is called Trayi. Why they chose only Strilinga Padas? Why Vak is Strilinga Pada? Kirti Shri Vakchanarina, Smriti Himeda, Rati Kshama. Shri Krishna tells about his great qualities of Nari. He doesn't tell about men. Why only about women, he says? They are very important. They are the leaders. The Yajamana says, I am the head of the family. The wife will just smile and say, I am the neck of the family. I know how to move you around. We should remember not by bossing over, but by love, by sacrifice, by serving. The more we love, the more we compromise, the more we serve, we will become the queens. So this is the Bharatiya Drishtikona of empowerment, not about snatching, not about hurting, hurling, copying, gaping, shouting, making a mess, and the children are hapless and umpires looking, what is happening here? Why did I come into this world? Motherhood is a very great thing, and queens, women have realized that. So with all their motherhood responsibilities, family responsibilities, as a daughter, as a mother, as a wife, as a sister, they have still had time for the neighbors, for the Raja, as spies, as poetesses, as everything. So that speaks a lot. We should be very proud to be women, that too Bharatiya Naris, that too Sanatana Naris.
I wouldn't mention that women were doing Vedadhyayana in ancient times, there were Brahmavadinis. But what happened, over the centuries, that it seems now like they're taken a backstage. They've stepped back. And many of the traditionalists, they don't teach women the Vedas. Some of them do, but the number is very less. So what exactly is the reason? I think many people may be having this question. So can you please throw some light on that?
Okay, this was my question also. I used to always ask some scholars. I had a very great scholar who was my neighbor, next door neighbor. None other than Parma Pujya Mahamahopatya Ranganatha Sharmacharya. So, he is a Pitamada of Vyakarna. He was such a generous person. What answer he gave me, I was convinced I'll give you. I don't have my own answers, but it was quite convincing. Look, first thing is, Vedadhenam is Shrestha and Grahastha Dharma is Kanishta. This idea was not there, and it should not be there. Today, we have this bad idea that somebody who has a degree is very special, somebody who does not have a degree is less special. Today, most of the Padma Shri awardees, luckily are Padma Shri awardees because they don't have degrees, isn't it? They had all the time to really discover the world. Now we have a degree in hand, so I can't go back to farming. My degree will not allow me that. I can't go speak Kannada because my degree will not allow me that. I want only a white collar job. These prejudices are hampering us. So initially, Vedadhenam or taking care of the house or ruling, anything and everything, Karma Yoga. Yadyat karomi tattadaki. Everything was Karma Yoga. Everything was Karma Yoga. So this idea that doing the Vaidika Karma and studying is special and being back home and taking care of the baby or the parents is less, is a modern superstition, I call it. Modern superstition. I think you have to use this word quite. These leftists, they coin some words and float it across to confuse us. Let's bring in the right words to remove that confusion. So, modern superstition is that something is high, something is low. Nothing is high, nothing is low. If I am speaking here, somebody is managing the camera, somebody is managing the sound system there, and somebody is standing there to say time is over, please finish that. Somebody is listening to me, and there my husband is taking care of my son, and my mother is doing the cooking instead of me. Don't you think everybody is important here? It's all teamwork. So this is the first idea we should understand. With this context in mind, we should understand that we had joint families. This is what Sri Ranganatha Sharma told. We used to have joint families, and everybody mattered in the joint family. So it was Samashti Dharma, Samashti and Vyashti Dharma. All our Smritis, Shrutis, Shastras, Ramayana, Mahabharata, they are telling us to live for Samashti Dharma, not Vyashti Dharma. Vyashti is my self-interest. That is important, no doubt, but not at the cost of Samashti. My Vyashti, my Vayaktikata should never be a block for Samashti Hita. That is why Rama, Sita, they sacrificed so much for Samashti Hita. They thought beyond their age. Rama, Sita knew that if we live this ideal today, 10,000 years later people will try to live this ideal. So they were worried about us. That is why they lived it that way. This is called Samashti Prajna, to understand that we have to come out of our selfishness first. So having a Samashti in mind, in a joint family, you have so many children, they had a high fertility rate, not like today. Hum do hamare ek, only for Hindus. Others will have hum panch hamare pachus. So this was not how it was. And we have fallen for the trap, unfortunately. I think Hindus must have a lot of children. Let's protect them for ourselves. In those days, they gave a lot of importance for children. They had cattle, they had guests. Grihasthashrama means lot of guests, lot of sannyasis coming and having food, brahmacharis having food, Atithi Devo Bhava, Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Chikkama Devo Bhava, Dodamma Devo Bhava, Sodratte Devo Bhava, all the orphans, everybody was a part of the family. Now just imagine both the husband and wife sit like this. Om Bhurбhuvah Swaha Samutvaranyam. The baby doesn't know when to cry, when not to cry. It will start crying. And the old people ground, give me some water. Now, who should wake up and go? Every time she sits, she has to go. Naturally, the mother will get up and go. How many times she has to keep on getting up from her Vaidika karmas? It's a practical thing. I mean, physically what we do, we have to keep waking up and going and coming back, going and coming back. So someday they decided that, okay, this is also fine, that is also fine. I'll take care of the whole family, I'll take care of my parents, Atithis, children, cattle, everything. You take care of Vaidika karmas and earning outside. It's just a mutual adjustment. That is why in the Vivaha, they put the second Upavita to the husband. It actually means that you will take over her Vaidika karma. But actually the next day you'll stop doing even his, whatever he had to do. So this was how it was adjusted. It's a mutual adjustment which no Smriti imposed upon. This is what happened initially. And there's one more thing. In Vaidika karmas, I mean the physically doing the yajnas, yagas, vrata, etc., a lot of sharirika shuddhi is expected. Kaya, vacha, manasa. You have to be very pure. And it's very natural. It is a Prakritika, Naisargika Kriya, that woman has her menstrual days in a month. So when she is in Ashocha, she can't perform that. And every month she has to do Prayashchitta for that. If you don't do, you have to do Prayashchitta. Every month she ends up doing Prayashchitta. Now if she is pregnant, after the 7th month she is in rest. She will not do anything, just enjoy, take care, sleep, eat. Even the husband is given rest, Once she is into her 7th month of pregnancy, the husband should not do any puja. He has to sit by her. He has to have a beard. Today everybody has a beard. In those days, if a man had beard, it meant that his wife is pregnant. So he has to be by her side. People should not say, come here. He say, no, my wife needs me most. So that time she has Ashocha, she cannot do anything. After 3 months, if somebody does not do the Vaidika karma for 3 months, they have to undergo Upanayinam again. These are all the rules, They followed the rules back exactly as it is. So how many children she'll have? How many times? So this, practically it's a problem. So they understood that, okay, the man does not have a problem. All the physical, Vedic karmas, etc., you do. I'll take care of the family. So when you do the sankalpa, I'll stand and touch your right hand. So without me, nothing will start. Okay. And then at the end, I'll come again. You are doing on my behalf, I am doing on your behalf. We are both one. हम तो एक ही है ना? Two bodies and one Atma. This was the mutual understanding. It was not about discrimination or saying you are trivial, you are useless, you can't do this, you are not eligible, not like that. But what happened later on is very bad. Perhaps this mutual adjustment was misread. We have to see practically. Today or that day or any time, nahi kadachid anil pusham janatu. The word is always like this. There will be some chauvinists, there will be some male chauvinists, there will be some generous people. There will be some jealous people, there will be some sattvic people. There will be a Sita, there will be a Shurpanaka. There will be a Manthara, there will be a Kausalya, right? All kinds of models are there at all times. Okay? So, there will be some men who probably were very prejudiced. They would say, tumko kya pata? Tum raso mein hote ho. Maybe he started. Some such men, they started trivializing the role of a woman here and there. But these are only instances. And our feminists and leftists cherry pick that happily, mil gaya ek point. They will not take the point from Gargi Maitri. They'll just pick up these points. One person called Sheldon Pollock, who works on Indology, calls it Indology, I don't know what agenda. He describes Dasharatha in the words of Kausalya. Sounds very nice, right? But you know what he does? Very clever. He picks up those lines when Kausalya is very sad and hurt and angry with Dasharatha. When Rama has been exiled, she cries and laments and says, this useless fellow is like this. This is the description of Dasharatha in the words of his Patta Mahishi Kausalya. See? Cherry picking. What the problem with us is that, Sheldon Pollock, he's done some homework. He's read Ramayana, but for the wrong intention. To pick up all whatever wrong things he can. And what do? We shout Jai Shri Ram, we do Ram Navami, Kosamri Pankaila Tintivi, Ella Martivi, Ramayana Odala. Everybody knows it very well, isn't it? How many of you have read Valmiki Ramayana? Purnava Goditi. Wow. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, that's a great number. Eshtopade ondu sikkala namage. Just read Ramayana cover to cover. That is my Nitya Parayana Grantha. That is why I am telling you. Read that. You will have full clarity. So, coming to the point, some prejudiced people here and there, they started looking down upon women. And then what happened? Maybe their sons, their youngsters picked that up. The wrong kind of message went down the line, seeped down the line. And then this started, here and there. But in the Kshatriya Kulas, education continued. In the Brahmana Kulas, education continued. Vaishya Kulas, even to this day, Kshatrapa. Kshatrama will sit in the shop and Kshatrapa will go for the collection and marketing and all that. To this day it happens. You see that typical model. But Macaulay came in and said, this is all caste. This is all old-fashioned. Forget all that. Don't be a farmer, don't be a merchant, don't be a provider, don't be anything. Give up all that, that is all caste. Come to our English schools, we'll say finger on the lips, Shut up and listen to what we say. We'll teach you what is Europe, how London Bridge is falling down and all that. And we'll tell you how to remove your bindi, shikha, everything. Dress like us, talk like us, A plus, we'll give you a degree. Keep the degree and go on unemployed. You have your farm, I will not work, I am not a farm, I will not do farm. This prejudice, I hope you are understanding. So this kind of a prejudice has been given to us through the Macaulay education, because of which we have not understood what exactly was the spirit of this Varna Paddhati. So in the Varna Paddhati, every woman or man by default was trained in the respective family occupation. If she is a Purohita's wife, she will know everything. Now my son does all this Sandhyavandana, everything. I correct him, I taught him everything. It comes very naturally, It comes very naturally. So every woman was educated in the sense that they had the occupational skills. If you don't have degree holding and educated, being educated or being a degree holder are two different things. Degree vanta is not an vidya vanta, according to me. So there we had to learn. But then what happened? Because of this prejudice, what happened? Only a person who goes to the Gurukula, only a person who has the Vedic education, only one who does a Vedic karma, or one who goes outside and earns is special. One who is at home doing more job, more tasks than him is trivial. This, this discrimination or this kind of a wrong understanding, I think it should have been addressed then and there. But this is not generalized, please remember, even then. So slowly, somewhere here and there, even the fault lines were there, and that was enough for the British to divide us. And then they brought in this English education. They said, we start the first school for girls. What nonsense. Arundhati Devi was running her own Gurukula. They are talking about first girls' school. And when Raja Ram Mohan Rai, they supported him for the girls' school. When he said, I am not standing for your conversions, they ditched him. His first girls' school closed down. And then came our great sister Nivedita, whom we have forgotten. Her first girls' school today is a deemed university in Kolkata. I visited that place. And it was started by a woman who, according to Macaulay system, is illiterate, uneducated. She is the great wife of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Sri Shardamani Devi. She inaugurated that school. Sodari Nivedita started that school. She didn't teach the British syllabus. She taught Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bengali, Sanskritam, knitting, cooking, hygiene, and she taught. She brought telescopes. In those days, she brought telescopes. She taught them sky watching. She taught them all the nakshatras, rashis. She taught them science, mathematics, everything. Hats off to Nivedita. I have forgotten that great woman. She deserves Bharat Ratna actually. She's a real Bharat Ratna. That school is still functional. And these people talk about starting the first girls' school. We had such great poetesses and literary genius, and they talk about girls for believing. I think this prejudice has come down to this day. There are very many male chauvinists who speak like that, but there are also generous people. Like Ramnath Sharmaji who sit and explain to me all this. I just added some masala here and there. Otherwise, the explanation is his. So, down the line, we have been prejudiced. First of all, let us remove from the mind that something is superior or less. Our grandmothers who toiled in the kitchen, took care of our health, our mind, our joy, who did everything for us. Today, if we are something, it's because of our mothers and grandmothers. That is no less than any PhD or IAS. It's much greater than that. That is why Upanishads have said Matru Devo Bhava first. Later on, Pitru Devo Bhava, later on, Acharya Devo Bhava, all that. So, down the line, the problem is happening. I think we are back in the correction mode. Things are changing very fast, and this happens only in India, in Sanatana India. We are changing very fast. We are all women sitting here and talking, and men out there watching. So, this is the changing in India. This happens only in Sanatana India. Let's be positive. There are problems. I don't deny that everything is utopian. I don't say everything is utopian perfect here. There have been problems, there have been prejudices, there have been men who have bet their wives and offended them. There have also been coyotes who have hit their husbands. There have been dowry problems, there have been otherwise also. Let's see it very objectively as it is. We should not cherry pick, pick up just problems here and highlight. No, there have been problems in all spheres. See everything as it is. Go back to the roots. Please, with folded hands, I humbly request, learn Sanskritam, learn Kannada, read the Desha Bhashas, read the Samskrita Bhasha, read Ramayana in the original, not TV Ramayana. Except Ramanand Sagarji's Ramayana, all of the Ramayanas are just masalas. Okay, read the original Ramayana, original Mahabharata, original texts, epigraphies, and inscriptions. Listen to the right people, come to the right gurus, sit at their feet, have some patience, cut down the time on malls and resorts and all these TV and WhatsApp. Spend time with really good people, learn. तद्विद्वित् प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ते ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानेन सत्त्वदर्शिनः, says Sri Krishna. Go to great people, sit at their feet, do some seva, have pariprashna, ask, discuss, debate. Upadekshyanti te jnanam. Do we do that? We are all WhatsApp University scholars. Go to real scholars, learn from them, earn knowledge, and come back and in a grand way protect the interest of Sanatana Dharma. Let's bring back facts, figures, speak it out boldly, and our rishis have given this to us, sacrificing their everything. Today, with this fascination for some global or some fashion, let us not lose all this. We are a great country with great literature, and that literature can only be accessed by the key called Sanskritam and Desha Bhashas. Learn at least one Desha Bhasha properly. Otherwise, we are not Indians, according to my Guru Shatadani Ganesh. He says, if you don't know even one Indian language properly, you are not an Indian. Do you agree with that? Today it's a fashion. Nanake Kannada about I only read English. What is this nonsense? Are you an Indian? You should ask. One bhashe adu. Kannada, Hindi, Telugu, English, whatever. Desha Bhasha, learn Sanskrit. Perfectly, be proud. Read the literature. Connect back. You get loads and loads of examples of men and women who have done great literary accomplishments, and I think we should share that. We should rewrite history, rewrite literature, rewrite all the narratives, and Bolo Bharat Mata Ki Jai.